There is a proposal on the table at FDA that would put a second reader between you and the agency. Before your IND reaches an FDA reviewer, an outside institution would read your pharmacology, your toxicology, your clinical protocol, and your CMC section and write recommendations. FDA would see those recommendations while your file is still being built. Hello, I'm Raghuvar Singh Parmar, Director Scientific Affairs at Resolve Mass Laboratories, and we work with pharma and biotech teams to build the analytical and CMC data that goes into IND submissions. Today, we'll go through what FDA actually proposed, who this third party would be, and what it changes for the package you are writing now. Before we start, I would request you one thing. If you have found anything valuable from this channel, please like and subscribe our channel. This gesture of appreciation really means a lot to us. Now let's move on to the topic. So what is this? On June 22, 2026, HHS launched Operation Trailblazer, a push to bring early clinical work back to the United States. 2 days later, FDA published a request for information in the FDA Federal Register for the expedited IND pilot program. It is voluntary, it is aimed at first in human phase 1 INDs, and it's still a proposal. FDA asked the public more than 20 questions about how it should work, ran a webinar in August, and is now reading the comments. More than 100 of them came in. Now, at the center of the proposal is the new label, Qualified Research Institution, QRI. A QRI reads the same three parts of your IND that FDA would read and gives you written recommendations before you file. FDA named the kinds of groups it has in mind: academic medical centers, healthcare networks, contract research organizations, and regulatory advisors. The bar is expertise across non-clinical, clinical, and CMC work, plus real phase 1 infrastructure. One line matters more than the rest. The recommendations are advisory. FDA still decides. Now, the standard path and the pilot path. So this brings us to the part that changes the sequence. Today, you build the whole package, file it once, and the 30-day review clock starts when everything is in. In the pilot, the QRI reviews each section as it is written, and those recommendations go to FDA on a rolling platform. FDA reads them before the formal submission arrives. The stated goal is to catch gaps early, cut the number of clinical holds, and shorten the time from a molecule to a first patient. The legal standard does not move, the order of events here does. Now, a QRI would read three things. First, pharmacology and toxicology, the non-clinical data behind your starting dose and safety margin. Second, the clinical protocol, design, eligibility, dose escalation, stopping rules. And third, CMC, drug substance, drug product, analytical methods, specifications, and stability. Those three often sit with three different groups and three different vendors. Here, one institution reads all three together and looks for the places where they do not line up. If you're steering a first-in-human program, a quick like tells us to keep tracking this pilot as it develops. Now, where your CMC data sits in this cycle. So phase 1 CMC is judged on safety, not really completeness. What FDA needs early is identity, strength, purity, and a clear picture of the impurity profile, plus sterility and endotoxin for any parenteral. Analytical methods have to be fit for their purpose, but full validation and long-term stability belong to later phases. Fit for purpose means the method shows what you say it shows, enough specificity to resolve the impurity, a range that covers your specification, and a limit of quantitation low enough to see it. FDA says matching the data to the phase can save 6 to 12 months. At Resolve Mass, we have supported sponsors through exactly that judgment call, what belongs in a phase 1 file and what is better placed later. Now, none of this is settled and the open questions are worth knowing. FDA asked who should qualify as a QRI and what infrastructure they need. It asked how to handle conflict of interest when the same institution is the reviewer and IRB and the trial site. It asked how a disagreement between FDA and QRI gets settled and who carries the risk if a recommendation turned out to be wrong. And it asked plainly whether a faster path can hold the same safety and scientific bar. Now, getting the CMC package ready. Whatever FDA decides, one thing is already useful. Write the CMC section so an outside expert can follow it without a phone call. 5 steps: map the data you actually have, set specifications that match phase 1 rather than commercial products, show that each analytical method is fit for purpose you are using it for, characterize the impurities including anything the process could carry through, and write the justification that ties it together. That last step is the one an outside reviewer reads first, and it is the step where the work is easiest to underscore. Now, let's talk about the key takeaways of this video. This is a voluntary pilot and a request for comment, not a rule now. A QRI advice: FDA still decides on your IND. All 3 sections get read and CMC is one of them. And phase appropriate data, clearly justified, travels well, whoever ends up reading it first. If you are working on an IND or NDA, ANDA, and you want a lab partner that treats the phase 1 CMC package as a scientific argument, Resolve Mass Laboratories supports pharma and biotech teams across US and Canada, from method development and impurity characterization all the way through submission to Health Canada and FDA. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. See you in the next one. Before you go, I want you to do a few things. Number 1, subscribe this channel right now. The more you subscribe, the more valuable pharma insights and expert tips and industry updates we can bring to you. Also, please comment your feedback. This will really help us to improve the content, quality of the videos, and many things. And finally, share this video to at least one person who you think this would really help them. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next time. Until then, goodbye for now.